You
Just make you
ignorant.
want to sing. Just make you want to sing.
Oh boy, we told y'all we were coming back today, man. Look, woo. Oh, Rich
So
McKay, y'all see him in the background, man. Funny thing is, I used this same photo when I did a Rich McKay video 3 years ago. And that Rich McKay calling about his job right now. Hold on for a second.
oh,
What's
okay.
going on, y'all? What's going on, man? Look, I'm telling y'all, man, we finna have some fun with this one, man. Look, we've been talking about this for about, I know, 2 years. Really, shit, ever since me and Chris started doing videos together. Me, Chris, and Berto. That Rich McKay, and we know he was the problem, man. We knew he was the problem. But before we get going, man, we got to shout out to the chat like we always do. Huey, what's good? Carl Vincent, Red Sox 2677, my guy. Say about damn time, man. Our boy Big John Higgins say he agree. He should have been the first one to go. He wasn't doing anything for the Falcons, no way. And what he's saying by that. What's up, Silk? What's good? Get you something, man. What he's saying by that is he's also works in New York, man. He's part of the rules committee. So he oversees things in New York as well. So he's back and forth from New York to Atlanta. And he's in Flowery Branch, like he said, once a week. But I mean, look, big bro, you absolutely right. I think he was doing things and he had his hands on too much, man, in the mix a little too much. And now they're saying again that they're taking out daily operations with, which we'll see, because I think either way it go, he'll still have I'll say so in certain things, man, but I don't think his
believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I don't think his word will carry much weight like it used to. But we all know, like I told you, Arthur Blank, 83 years old, man. And he's still one of Arthur Blank's favorite people. Miss Stephanie, what's good? Millie Mills.
And think about it, we've been told this before too.
Absolutely. That's what I was just about to say. We done heard this story once before, but again, hey, we'll see what happens. But Millie Mills says more than enough talent on this team to win right now. Coach has to coach. Fuck him on to the next. Yeah, absolutely true. Say you heard about Terry Fontenot though, and we all are, but sometimes you got to take the good with the bad, and sometimes the good got to suffer with the bad. And my grandma used to always tell me that, and this was a perfect example of that. John Brooks, what's up, my guy? He said, Arthur Blank clean house. He fired Rich, Raheem, and Terry. And Terry F. Baby, I'm wondering where we go from here. It's going to be interesting to see. But like we talked about last night, I think Matt Ryan going to be part of that process, man.
So I'm with Freeman. Rich just got a new title. I mean, that's honestly, that's really how I feel about it. I mean, we'll see though. Again, moving forward, we'll see. That's the only thing we can really do. But yeah, we have really like seen this movie, heard this story, whatever phrase and cliche you want to use. But we've been here before.
Yeah.
So, but it's still, even just the report is still, you know what I'm saying, a good thing, because you want new leadership, you want new direction. And it said by Josina Anderson, she said that she reported yesterday that Arthur Blank is looking to take back his building. So what better way than, you know,
Debo style.
Hey, I'm just saying, you own it, right? Hey, you own it.
Yeah. It's my bike, punk.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. Yeah, man. But y'all can follow along, get in the chat, man. Y'all tell us how y'all think about it, because I mean, we've been waiting for a while, but you know, like y'all said, where do we go from here? That is the key question. Yep. And honestly, the only way to go is up, because the talent is still here. You just got to put the right coach and the right GM in place. And what would that look like? But
you gotta get some stability here too, man.
Say that again.
I say you got to get some stability in here, because I'm telling you, you can't continue to go, you know what I'm saying, with the hiring and firing. You can't do that, though. We need to make sure that the next coach and the next GM can have like a tender, like the GM having like a long tender, at least like a decade, and hopefully like the coaching too. You seen that game last night, the Ravens and the Steelers, and you think about how long those two coaches have been with those franchises, and they've been mostly for both, especially for both of them, they've been having winning records or going to the playoffs. Having a chance of competing. Now, whether they got over the hump and all that stuff like that, that's on them. But I'm saying they still was having the opportunity. I want the opportunity. I know you want the opportunity, guys. So it's just we got to make sure that we can make the best decision moving forward, because we cannot continue to do that. Just being honest.
Facts. Millie Mill said, I'm a Vic fan too, bro. My favorite player for real. But all he did was fill seats and make exciting plays. He ain't do shit else. Let's be real. And he right.
I mean, I understand.
Go ahead,
Smitty.
They say it ain't slandering to me. I mean, he not slandering. He just being real. Because if you think about what he's saying, was Mike Vick one of the best passers in the league during his time? No, he wasn't. Did we make a Super Bowl? No, we did not. We made an NFC championship. And in Philadelphia, when it was crunch time, he needed to be counted on. He couldn't pull it off. So that's where Millie Mill is going with that. So, and he, like he said too, man, what did he do outside to make exciting plays and fill seats and sell jerseys? And don't get me wrong, he could have been better, because we see him on the Andy Reid in Philadelphia showed us. He showed us he could have been better than what he was, but he did not want to get his ass in the playbook and make himself better and work on his craft like all the Hall of Fame quarterbacks do. So I get where Mill is coming from that. But to get back to Rich McKay, it's the same thing. He did a good job as to what he needed to do as far as with the organization. But when it came to closing the deal and keeping his team together the right way, he messed it up when he gave Matt Ryan $50 million. He gave Julio Jones $22 million. And he gave Deion Jones $17 million. So when he signed those three players, you got to think the salary cap wasn't as far up as it is right now. If you get those players that contract right now to this salary cap, it wouldn't be a problem. But when you give three players a third of the roster spot and cap space, that's a problem. And this is what we talked about last night, and this is why I said nobody's safe, is because when you talk about cap space and building the team properly, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and do what you need to do, and that means getting rid of key players. Because just look at what Dallas did. Dallas got rid of the best defensive player in the damn league in his prime because they knew they didn't want to pay $40 million when they already paid a quarterback, the most important player on the team, $60 million. It didn't make sense. And he got criticized for it. Even I criticized Jerry Jones for it. But when I sat back and thought about it and what he got in the deal, he got 3 first-round picks. Yep. One of those he flipped in return for another all-pro talent in Quentin Williams, which I think they can build around Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark. So, look, it makes sense. So now it's time for Arthur Blank and this team to do the same thing. That's all I'm saying. But I ain't gonna hog about the time. Go ahead, Chris. My bad.
No,
I just be getting in the zone sometime, bro.
Sometime. But honestly though, man, so outside of the Vic talk and everything like that, I'm just still waiting to see what's going to come forward next. I hear everything about Rich McKay. We'll see moving forward. I'm interested to see exactly like what's going to happen, because Matt Ryan is definitely expected to be hired as our president of football operations. Now, I think, this is a conversation that was being had before since the announcing and, Matt Ryan could return. I think this has been going on really like for quite some time, possibly even like beginning of the season type stuff. But that's how I personally feel, because, this doesn't just pop up, this type of stuff, a big decision like that. So I'm interested to see, what kind of network did Matt Ryan pretty much had? What kind of network does he have? What kind of network did he accumulate with different people, shaking hands, and being on CBS, getting that experience, and just being able to meet different people. I want to know like what's going to happen next. So it's going to be interested with that too, fam. Like I'm really interested. It's so many questions that we Falcon fans, I'm pretty sure have. Just in this realm right now with the front office is we have to get this right. That's my main thing. We have to get this right.
Absolutely no way around it, bro. Because if you don't get it right, you set yourself back 3 to 5 years again. And if you set yourself 3 to 5 years again, guess what? We looking at another rebuild. And with this team that we have right now,
times.
Yeah, we have rebuilt in the last 10 years since the last 8 years. No, let me correct myself. In the last 6 years, after Dan Quinn left, we've rebuilt twice already. Because we traded Matt Ryan, we traded Julio Jones, we cut Deion Jones, who I just talked about, and we drafted Bijan, drafted Drake, drafted Kyle, and just drafted the 2 bookend edge rushers last year. So we rebuilt twice, and we put together a great team. But again, if you don't have the right person driving the bus gonna slide off the road, and you're gonna be doing the same thing again. So when you look at rebuilding the team, you got to look at rebuilding the front office at some point. And this is the reset that we need. Now, this happened 2 years ago when it should have happened. I think we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now, especially if you got the right coach in place. Because as we talked about, me and you, we've been talking about uncomfortable, that word uncomfortable, for about a year now, a year straight.
Yeah.
And now they're about to get uncomfortable because you see it. They're wiping out everything off the chalkboard, starting all over again. And John asked this question. Remember when Bill Belichick was here for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and they wined and dined him and ended up going in another direction with Raheem Morris? Well, John, I have to tell you, I don't even think they'll bring Belichick in again. They did. He was here about 2 weeks ago, and he stayed here for a while, and I think they probably talked to him. But again, they were probably picking his head on how to build a team, how to work through things. And I think they're going to go after a guy that has a winning pedigree, that's been in a GM, that's been in the front office for a while, that has knowledge of how to build a team. And one person that I feel like they should be taking knowledge from is Ozzie Newsome, former Ravens GM. That dude was the blueprint on how to build a team. I think he's passed his knowledge on to a lot of teams, because the way a lot of teams are building now through the draft. Look at Philadelphia, look at the Rams, and even I'm saying the Rams, because after they started back getting their picks, their last 2 drafts has been home runs. They went and got their guy after trading away all those first round picks. So now, after they've got their Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford has about 1 or 2 more years left. And they're going to turn the reins over, but they put together a team, so when they do turn the reins over, they're not going to skip a beat. And this is the type thing that we need to do. Same thing with the Eagles. You see what they're doing. And one team that hadn't adjusted, that were on a roll, Kansas City Chiefs. A whole decade winning football. This year, everything finally tumbled down. One, Travis Kelce is getting up in age. Patrick Mahomes, he's pretty much, I hate to say it, he's probably on the other side of, what he was great at. And then you look at the roster turnover. Chris Jones is getting up in age. Andy Reid is getting up in age. So now they're in that same situation to where they have to start back to rebuilding and doing things to get that team back on the right track. So it was inevitable that the Falcons were going to have to bust up the front office. I just wish they would have done it sooner.
Right. And also, you think about it, it said breaking news, everyone Atlanta Falcons has demoted Rich McKay to water boy status. Oh, boy. Now, honestly, to be honest with me, I'm going to be honest, and this is how I really feel about the Rich McKay thing. Until he, pull up to the building and his key card don't work no more, that's when I really, you know what I'm saying, can really breathe that sigh of relief. But I just know that's not going to happen. He just, you know, he got moved to a different situation. I guess you could say he's fired from the football side, but he's still in the building. Don't get making no mistake about it.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah. He gonna have a voice. He gonna still have a voice. It
it's
probably
like,
won't be as heard as loud, but he gonna still have a voice. That's his
you know,
right hand man. I keep telling y'all.
but he shouldn't have a voice. That's all I'm saying, my boy. He shouldn't have a voice.
So Robert said his question is,
yo, chill, Jay.
Is Matt Ryan involved in the process? I'll let you answer that one, Chris. Because you talked about it a little bit off the air.
Involved. Shoot, man. I think again, I want to see what type of network Matt Ryan has built. Like, I want to see, like, as far as capacity, football operations, and that's what I'm saying. I'll see. So, man, let me tell you something, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what I'd do if Thomas Dimitrov was rehired again. I'd just be like, man, y'all playing. This can't be for real. Y'all playing. But yeah, again, going back to the Matt Ryan thing, I had made a video also talking about it, different roles that he can possibly be in. And yes, you know, being in football operations, player personnel, being in control of those things, I think Matt can come in and do that. I do think that Matt still has like football type relations. I do think that Matt is an easy guy to talk to and who can communicate with football players. I mean, you think about it. Matt Ryan played like 14 seasons, but it's not like he's out of date. You know what I'm saying? Like, he only retired like a few seasons ago. So it's like he still is like somewhat in that still realm of what's going on in modern NFL now. So again, having him come in and have that mind to just, you know, saying like see what's going on now instead of like 2015 on back. You know what I'm saying? You think about it, 2000 on back. You think about a lot of these guys that we have, they've seen a lot of football, but they maybe their voice is a little like outdated, should I say? Their methods are outdated, should I say? But you still don't go out and just, you know, have no experience behind them. You still are going to have Greg Beatles here. Greg Beatles has been with the organization half of our existence. 31 years for Greg Beatles. He's been here since 95 as an intern. So you think about it. He's seen two different ownerships. He's seen the Smiths and he's seen the Blanks or the blank or whatever. But still, at the end of the day, he's seen two different sides of it. But he has been a consistent and a constant, you know, just working his way behind the scenes. And now he's going to be not only, you know, the president, but also, you know, the CEO, you know, playing those roles. I want to see what he's going to be able to do too. How much control does he have? How much of a voice is he's going to have being with this organization and seeing a lot of ups and a lot of downs firsthand. So it's going to be interesting to see how he and Matt pair together. I know Matt's not officially hired, but he's expected to be. So that's why we're going to say, like, we're going to act like we already did it. But, you know, I'm still waiting for the news to come down that Matt is, you know, actually here. I mean, or let's see if we pivot at the last moment. We'll see.
But when I'm here with Matt Ryan, he's probably going to be the vice president of football operation. And that's a step in the right direction as far as moving up towards general manager. And we talked about that last night. And as you said before we got on, man, all this been in motion for a while. You can look back, like you said, you can look back all the way up till the Deshaun Watson trade when they traded him to Indianapolis. And that was a move to help him finish off his career. He played that one season. And, you know, after that, you know, he got to CBS. So, you know, he got to networking and knowing how to do things behind the scenes. So all of this was a play at the end of the day. But Sharon said, who would you take, Matt Ryan or Matthew Stafford? I'm a Falcons diehard through and through. But I think arm talent wise, you got to go Matthew Stafford. Accuracy wise, you got to go Matt Ryan. So both of them, they have their different way of the playing style, but all around, you got to go Matt Ryan. I mean, Matthew Stafford just has the strong arm, and don't get me wrong, he's getting better with age. But look, hey man, Matt Ryan's IQ, I think, is second to none when it comes to quarterbacks.
Sometimes it's genetics too, you know. I mean, and it's sometimes genetics, and also sometimes it's system. Let's just be honest, man. That system that McVay out there is quarterback friendly, especially to Matt Stafford. I mean, are you going to get sacked? Yeah, you're going to get sacked. But Matt Stafford, you know, he's an ageless wonder. Go Dogs! But he's an ageless wonder, and the things that he's doing, he should be considered for the MVP. I know he's probably not going to win it, especially like down the stretch how the Rams played. But still, like he still should be in that MVP race because he's doing some dazzling things at his age. But ultimately, like still, like I do agree with the accuracy thing as far as like with Matt Ryan. That was one of his best attributes that wasn't talked about a lot was how accurate Matt could be. I mean, you think about it. Not a lot of guys can throw it to that sideline and put it only for he's either going to be Julio or out of bounds. Just talking about that. And that incredible catch by Julio Jones in the Super Bowl. I'm not saying Matt couldn't make that play. It's talking about Stafford, but I'm saying like we know who did make that play, and that throw was still incredible. Still unfortunate, you know. I say it wasn't in a win, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, man. I like both guys, honestly. I do.
Yeah, and if y'all didn't know, Matt Stafford actually lives in Atlanta, so
yeah. Head coach candidate.
Dan got some good candidates, man. Lovie Smith, Clint Kubiak, who we've talked about a while, Brian Daboll, GM candidates, Ian Cunningham, who we talked about last night, Alex Hallaby, the Eagles assistant GM, and Tariq Ahmad, 49ers assistant GM. Dan, those are some good candidates. Kubiak is who me and Chris. If you go with, a first year guy, that would be our first guy. You go with experience, you would go with Daboll, who says he has experience. Lovie Smith, he's been around a while.
Defense.
He's a defensive guy. But I'm thinking the Falcons should lean toward offense. And don't get me wrong, it's still a way that they could bring in a defensive guy, but they will have to bring in an offensive guy that's ahead of his time. And this is something that I want y'all to think about. And I know it may happen and it may not happen, but a trade for Kyle Shanahan to me would still be on the table, because when you look at he's been here and we talk about retreads, but what he's done in San Francisco, you can't deny. It's just ahead of his time, because he's been in 2 Super Bowls. And what if he finally gets back to the Super Bowl as a Falcons head coach and come full circle, finds the right quarterback, and just does his thing to bring the city a championship? And sometimes things like that happen, because have you ever heard the saying, if you don't get it right the first time, try again?
So, yeah, I mean, I heard it, but
Kyle Shanahan could be an option for me, and trade a first round pick. I would definitely do that. So, and he has all the talent on offense.
I have to really woo-side about that one, boy. Oof, boy. We'll see, though. We'll see. Well, I mean, you never know what happens.
Think about it too, Chris.
That do get traded for. Coaches get right. It's happening in NFL history. But honestly, with the job that Shanahan has done this year, I don't see him getting fired. Like this was a year that I really thought the 49ers were going to take a step back, especially losing that all-pro middle linebacker. So it's like, I just figured they was going to go down, but they still did have weapons. They still had weapons on offense. And Kyle said they still have me. And that comes down to coaching again, because he took talent, on both ends. So of course, you still have the defensive coordinators are doing their job as well. But fam, the way that the 49ers, like, they're the number 2 seed or the 2nd seed in their division, and I didn't see that coming. So again, it's coaching. He said Les Snead. I mean, that's an interesting thing too. I mean,
that's a real interesting. I would think about that one.
Yeah, that's interesting. I honestly also would. I know he hasn't had any experience, but I'll take a look at least kick the tires with Louis Riddick. I really would. I would see exactly what.
Yeah.
At least an interview and see like what kind of direction that he's trying to go. Now, if it's not the best direction that we want, I mean, you ain't got to hire the guy. But I think I'll still at least give him an interview and see what's going on. And think about this too, Smitty. Wild card that we talked about yesterday, Keith Smith. Dark white. Rick Smith, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who leading the sportsology crew that is coming in and helping Arthur Blank. And I said, he's already here. He knows how to be a GM. He was a GM in Houston when they hired Lovie Smith, actually. Bill O'Brien was another guy he had in Houston as the head coach. But as you think about it, man, they had to bring in a guy that has, experience in winning football games. This is the only way these moves make sense. So whatever coach and GM they hire has to have some kind of tie somehow as to winning football games. And even though they say Rich McKay is moving back and taking, a back seat, one name that just keeps coming to mind is John Gruden. He's the veteran guy. He's won the Super Bowl. And I know, just like Kyle Shanahan, he comes with controversy. So GM, whatever you want, whatever you can think of. And then Matt Ryan, who played for the Colts the last year of his career, is a guy in Indianapolis who you keep hearing the name come up as a GM. That's another guy to think about. So whatever we do is going to be ties to whoever is already in this organization. That we know.
My thing is this. Can we get somebody, can we hire the GM and then allow the GM to hire the coach?
That boy, I mean, that's going to be a hard sell. And this is the reason why I say that. It's going to be a hard sell because Arthur Blank just reset the team his damn self. So at the end of the day, he's going to still make the decisions at the end of the day. He's going to have to sign off on it. The only way that I think he doesn't make the full decision is if Matt Ryan just go to him and say, hey, I played for this guy. I know this guy personally. And he's going to have to listen to one of these guys. Even though Rich McKay is off to the side now for the foreseeable future, I think Matt Ryan going to have to be that guy that put the bug in his ear. Now, him and Greg Beatles, they're going to have to work together to hire somebody Arthur Blank trust them with.
But bro, I'm sorry. Isn't that the main reason why we're here now? Why are we still okay? First of all, why does it have to take multiple guys for you to get the heck out of the way sometimes?
Have you ever heard the old saying, old habit die hard?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Well, old habit need to get German suplex through the table. Because I'm just tired. My thing is hire people and allow them to do their jobs. That way, if they don't do their job, then you have, without a shadow of a doubt, able to, move on for them without any kind of thought about it, whatever, no kind of ties, whatever, just move on. Just do the process. I just feel like due process should be hire the GM. Because you have to do the due diligence and feel comfortable. I think right there, that's where Arthur should be hands-on, immediate, making the final decision. This is my GM. Once you do that, I feel like I know it's crazy telling an owner, a billionaire, what to do with his franchise, but I'm just talking about the process. Slide out the way and then allow the GM to make the decision to hire the head coach. I don't think it should be a by committee.
I get where you're going 100%. I get where you're going.
Right, because the by committee,
but at the end of the day,
that's where we are now.
At the end of the day, who signed the check, Chris?
I know Arthur signed the check. You can continue to sign the check, just you don't always have to be involved in everything all the freaking time. Sometimes you got to trust people to be able to do that, because if not, then why are you hiring them? Just move everybody out the way. Just do everything yourself then.
Do Jerry Jones, do he rely on somebody to make decisions and he writes the checks? No,
bro. But
he
think
doesn't
about
even
it.
have a GM.
Everybody ain't. But that's what I'm saying, and that's another problem, because that's who he gets compared to. People call Arthur Jerry Jones Jr. all the time.
Okay,
outside of Atlanta.
I get where you're going with that. I get it, but think about this: did Terry Fontenot have full control as GM?
No.
My point exactly. That's why he's Jerry Jones of the South.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the problem in itself. Stop hiring people and not allowing them to do their job. It makes no sense. Just do it yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just saying, if I'm owner, I'm just gonna do it myself if I don't want it. That's why I actually respect what Jerry does to a degree, because he's clear indication that, hey, look, I want to do it myself and I want to do it my way. Now he ain't getting nowhere with it, but at the end of the day, I can at least respect it. It's just like, stop doing this. Everything has to be a team thing, and I'm just wanting us to go through the due process, make the right decisions, hire this guy, let this guy hire this guy, allow this guy to hire the right people. But my thing is too, now if you're seeing something that's not making sense, like your head coach hiring two inexperienced head coordinators again, I do think, yeah, you should step in right there. Or that's where the GM should have the ability to be like, no, I'm not signing off on that. You feel me? It's just like certain things should be just more smooth for Arthur, so he doesn't have to be so involved, or smooth for the front office, so everybody doesn't have to seem like, let's meet at the round table and make a decision ourselves. It shouldn't have to always be like that. You should have a guy in place that you trust and be like, all right, you make the decision, dog. And whatever happens after that, we're gonna just, be predicated. We'll pivot on whatever decision happens. Hopefully you make the right decisions, because if not, then we know that we can just eliminate this particular person. You feel me? Like, instead of having all this, some commotion with this collaborative effort type thing. Hire people to do what they're supposed to do. That's all I want to do. I just want to hire people and trust them to do what they're supposed to do.
In sports, does that really happen anymore?
I think yes. I think so, yes. I just think the Atlanta Falcons, sometimes their front office and their owners sometimes just get in their own ways. You look at it around, right? You look at other franchises. They have their GM. They have their head coach. The head coach reports to the GM. The GM reports to the owner. It's just that simple. We don't do that.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, I get what you're saying. It's a process of elimination. Yes, it should work like that. Coach the GM, GM the owner. But the way the Falcons have been ran the last decade, or over the last 15 years, ever since 2010, it's mainly been Rich McKay to Arthur Blank and Rich McKay. And then everything else below that is obsolete. So now, if you go back to what they've been doing and what they need to start with the new process of elimination, it needs to be, like you said, GM to coach to coaching staff, and and so on and so forth. But my thing is, can Arthur Blank sit back and take his spoon out the pot? And one thing that needs to happen, and I think, honestly, and this is, I think, the only thing that's going to change the Atlanta Falcons. Josh Blank, his son, has to put his foot down. And I know it's his dad's team, he's the owner and all that good stuff. But Josh is younger. Josh understands the new age NFL, not the old ways. And if Josh puts his foot down and say, hey, we need to catch up with the new times. And what I mean by that, keep building through the draft, learn to make, blockbuster trades. Because like I keep telling y'all, we have too much talent right here to not try to go out to a guy like a Joe Burrow, to not try to go out to a guy like Lamar Jackson, to not try to go out to a head coach that's championship caliber. These are the type moves we need. And if Arthur Blank don't take a back seat, we won't make these type moves. We're just going to keep making conservative moves. Move to just enough to get us along. We need to make a move to get us over the top. That's all I've been saying the whole time. We make the type move to get us over the top. We've done it in the draft, because you seen what the last two rookies have just did on defense. You saw what Bijan is doing on offense. You saw what Drake is doing. And Kyle Pitts, given the right offensive coordinator, he could be a weapon too. It's just we need that one player to just tie all of this together. This is the type move we need to make. And if the front office don't sit back and make this type move, it's just gonna be the same story over and over. That's why we still having this same conversation 10, 15 years later. I mean, they did it before, don't get me wrong, because I keep telling y'all that 2012 team was the perfect team to get us to the Super Bowl and over the top. But guess what? The right coach did not know how to make adjustments. That Mike Smith, he's probably the best Falcon coach of all time. But let's keep it real. He didn't make the proper adjustments the second half. And San Francisco came back and won that game. So now it's time to make the moves to get the coach and the quarterback to get us over the top. The Patriots did it 25 years ago with Bill Belichick. They drafted Tom Brady in the 6th round. The rest is history. And what are they doing right now? The same structure is still in place. And they the number 1 seed in the AFC. So basically, I'm just saying we just need winning structure in so many words. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But you just gotta, again, bro. That's just what I feel like that's not what I was about to say. Irrational. Yeah, that's not irrational to just want that for the front office, man. Like for real, just to it to be just that simple. Let your doggone GM hire your head coach. Let your GM monitor what your head coach going to do as far as personnel. Hear the head coach out. Okay, what kind of personnel you bringing in? Who you bringing in to help you? You know, what I'm saying, achieve this goal, type thing. And if it's not sounding right, let the GM be like, "Hey, this is not sounding right, Mr. Blank. This is not sounding right, Mr. Beatles. I'm not liking what I'm hearing. This is what he's saying. I'm outlining everything for you. This is what he's saying. This is my personal opinion. I don't think we should make this higher, and this is why." Boom, 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 boom. What's wrong with that?
I can see that. And that's what I mean. In Coach's Corner, he said if his son ever put his foot down, you know, he's going to pick his face up. And I'm not saying for him to disrespect you and overstep what you're saying. Shout out to RJ, man. He's saying the Falcons have requested an interview with defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, who they interviewed before Raheem Morris. I get that part. But Anthony Weaver, I can see that, but he's a defensive guy. I get where you're going with this coach, but I mean, I'm just saying as far as him just going to his dad, man, saying, hey, we need to get with the times. I understand, you know, you want to do things a certain way, but we need to flip and turn to this different type situation because this is what the league is. This is what it is about now. If you could take an approach as far as perfect example, you see what the Eagles did when they drafted all these Georgia players the last 4 years. Because it's not about just Georgia. It's they know those players had a championship pedigree to take it to the next level to win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm talking about. When you go out and find a championship pedigree coach, championship pedigree GM, championship pedigree players, these are the type things you need to look at. You need to look at their backgrounds. This is why the Eagles have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Rambo, the Kobe Dean. This is why they had Devontae Smith. This is why they had Jalen Hurts. This is even why they have Saquon Barkley. They are checking their background and what they've done, and that's win football games.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go out and find a coach and a GM that wins football games, that's all you need to know is can they win football games?
Yeah. And my thing is too, you know, you don't always know that a guy's going to be a winner, but it's sometimes you just got to feel those tendencies, and that's why you do due diligence. You see track record. You see what they have experience in, what they have done before. If you want to keep a young quarterback, do they have any experience with the young quarterbacks, helping develop young quarterbacks? Like, what is their track record with them, etc.? Or you're going to have to go out and just continuously do veteran, because they don't know how to develop. So, I mean, those are due diligent things that need to be done. Again, bringing in different people. The Anthony Weaver thing, I honestly don't believe he's going to be our head coach. Okay. So, I mean, I just feel like that's an interview. I mean, my thing is you looked at the Dolphins defense. I don't think, no, no. And then again, if you're talking about defensive minds, And my thing is, if he's getting the interview, then Robert Saleh should get an interview.
Right. Absolutely correct.
So
yeah.
But
it's all in the direction that they want to go, and they have to know that you got to build this thing with championship mindsets. And I even seen somebody put in my comments last night, what about Kirby Smart?
He's not leaving Georgia.
Kirby Smart is in the perfect position in Georgia.
Leaving Georgia.
I don't think he'll ever leave college football. Why? Because he does what he's good at, and that's recruit players. If y'all don't know, Kirby Smart was the one recruiting all those players at Alabama, not Nick Saban. Because guess what? Ever since he left Alabama, who's won the recruiting wars the whole time? Think about that.
I'm gonna lie to you, but the thing about it, he was like you just said, one of the recruiters. So he already knows, like he's already met with like parents and knows how to talk to them. That's the one thing about getting those recruiters. You got to woo the parents and you got to know how to talk to them. And Kirby, he's been great at that for quite some time. That's why people want to play for him. That's why I really like people are like fight for spots to be on Georgia. And then when they get there, sometimes they still not able to play because it's just so much talent and they have to move on. So,
Jason Roberts, I did see that. This me and Chris have been, nailing that home for the last month and a half, 2 months about Clint Kubiak. If you want to go a young first-year guy, that's the type of guy you need. A guy that knows how to diversify the offense. If you have weapons on your offense, he's going to get him the football. Mm-hmm. Look at what he's doing in Seattle. You go out and get a wide receiver that's not even physical. He's just a technician on the field, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. These are the type coaches you need, the one who knows how to use players to their strengths. You go out and get one of those type coaches, you're going to make a difference. If you want a young coach, you got to go get one like a Clint Kubiak. And you got to think too, man, Clint Kubiak. He's actually he was actually born into the West Coast offense. His dad, Garrett Kubiak, was an assistant under Mike Shanahan in Denver. He also played for the Broncos. So he knows the West Coast offense in and out. And we all know when Mike Shanahan was a coach, this dude had 1,000-yard rusher and a dude named Quentin Griffin, a 5'8" running back for about 195, 200 pounds, who went to Oklahoma, who was a no-name guy. Mike Anderson, a guy who was in the service, 1,000-yard running back. So when you have a coordinator or a coach that knows how to simplify things to an extent, that's a wonder.
Right. But it is the breaking news though. It is it wasn't just Anthony Weaver. It is Clint Kubiak as well. The Falcons have requested head coaching interviews with Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak and Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, and that's coming from Tom Pelissero.
Yep. So I mean, look, we headed in the right direction and things finna shake. We just hope they shake the right way. And if they don't, we will see that part too.
Man, of course, we with the whole thing about Kubiak, we have to see how far the Seahawks go before we're actually able to, I believe, or unless they're going to do it virtually, they may be able to do something virtually if they get granted the permission. But outside of that, if you're talking about face to face, you're going to have to wait for him to be eliminated out of the playoffs or win the Super Bowl or whatever is going to happen with the Seahawks.
And y'all got to understand too, man. We have a competition out there because you have the Titans looking for a new coach. You have the Cardinals looking for a new coach.
Continue.
The Raiders. The Bengals going to keep Zach Taylor, but
yes,
he would have been number one on my list because what you know that. You got the Dolphins looking for a new coach,
bro. But I ain't gonna lie to you. Guess what? Out of all those teams you said, ain't none of they talent better than the Falcons.
Yeah,
ain't none of those jobs better than the Falcons. Not one of them. So to me,
and the thing,
Atlanta is. I'll just say to me, Atlanta is the best job. As far as talent, team, what as far as like what you can possibly get. Now, the quarterback's going to be the biggest question for you. But again, Kubiak, he's working with Sam Darnold. He's a legendary journeyman. Regardless, still good football player. But shoot, he was just in the playoffs last year with another team. They dumped him. And now he's with the Seahawks now, and let's see how far they get. But again, it lets me know that he can work with some quarterbacks and possibly build off strengths. So you have that because Sam Darnold still has his problems, okay? But he's able to allow the strengths and allow that run game and just, playmakers and, of course, a strong defense help them win games. And so, again,
Right.
you have that aspect of things, but you just got to, again, it comes all the way back to doing due diligence and making the right hire because, like I said earlier in the show, guys, I want stability. I want a guy who's going to be here for like the next decade. And that's front office, that's head coaching, and we make the best decisions as far as contracts, as far as players, remembering the logo, so not necessarily trying to stay in our feelings about certain players, not falling in love, and doing what's best for the Falcons so we can get these opportunities to get to the playoffs consistently compete for a championship, get a championship or two. And, that's what we need to be more focused on and moving forward to. That's it. That's all.
Absolutely. Carl said, is it possible to keep London, Pitts, Algier, and Bijan and get rid of the rest of the offensive skill players? Absolutely not. Pitts is going to be looking for a big payday. Algier is going to have a much deserved payday because I keep telling y'all he's a number one running back and he's going to want decent money to stay, and I respect that because as I've been telling y'all, he was a 1,000-yard rusher before Bijan got here. So now he's going to use that Michael Turner type road and go to a team. Y'all got to remember Michael Turner ran for 1,000 yards all but one season in Atlanta. And now I think he's number 2 on the list in rushing yards all time in Falcons history. I think Tyler can go somewhere and do that himself. He had the same build. He's not as fast, but he still has that same game-breaking ability that Michael Turner had. Power runner, punishing, wear down the defense. He can go somewhere and make the money. But if he wants to stay in Atlanta, he has to take a significant pay cut to keep playing with Bijan. And honestly, football is a short stint, and you got to make your money while you can. So Tyler, I don't see that happening.
But check this though. Listen to what the franchise tag is on running backs: $14 million. So think about it. If a team offers Tyler anywhere between 12 and 14, we're not doing that. That's the unfortunate thing. I told
y'all bidding war.
Man, listen, I want to keep Tyler here because I believe multiple things. Tyler is a capable back. Tyler will help Bijan stay not only rested but healthy. And also we want Tyler to stay healthy too. So it really is working for both backs. And then of course we're a run first team anyway. You don't know what the quarterback situation gonna look like, so the run game may have to be leaned on even more anyway moving forward.
Ain't no May in it, Chris. It's gonna be.
Well, the only reason why I say that is just because I don't know what quarterback we end up getting. But yes,
we don't even know what coach we get.
All indications though indicate that yes, the run game is going to have to be the main thing, like how it was with the Mariotas and the Heinekes and the Ritters. Right. I'm hoping it's not that bad, but let's just be honest. We've seen it before, and we understand what the NFL demands. The NFL demands a capable quarterback for most part, unless you get like a lightning in a bottle, which normally you don't get. I'm just saying everybody can't be the Ravens of 2000, and having a game manager, legit game manager, just manage the game while the defense just tear you up.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed that we're going to catch that lightning. So you have to try to see what kind of quarterback you can get in here to possibly be a bridge, or if you're going to have the new head coach and GM coming in here, looking at the situation and being like, we got to go get a quarterback in the draft or whatever. Right. So those are just
and this all goes back to what we keep saying. We keep telling y'all. This is why we keep saying nobody's safe, because once we know who the head coach and GM is, we're going to know exactly what direction this team is going to go. And you got to remember, and we said F them picks, but at the same time, we don't have a first round pick. So what if the new GM comes in or the new head coach and they get together and say, hey, Drake London due for a $35 million deal. I don't think we should pay that. Let's go out and try to get a first round pick and see can we go out and find another number one receiver on a rookie contract for the first 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Think about this: the franchise tag for wide receivers is $28 million this year. Projected.
So that's the franchise tag, Chris. Think about the regular contract. It's going to be $2 to $3 million to maybe $4 million above that. So we looking at 32 to 35 million.
Hey man,
this is the number. This is the market.
It just like we don't just be, you know, what I'm saying, trying to like be like what Debbie Downers or anything like that. We just be trying to just prepare y'all for what possibly could happen. Like we want to keep everybody, but we know we just can't. It's just unfortunate. We just can't.
Yeah.
But hey, man.
Man, look, I'm telling y'all, yeah, they're a good free agent running back, but you can get a running back in the draft. Tyler was a 5th round pick. Let's keep it real. There's going to be one guy that slipped through the hole every year, slipped to day 2 or day 3. That should have been a 2nd round running back because running backs aren't valued like they used to be.
Sure, so you're going to at every position. You see that at every position. To look at Xavier Watts.
First round talent. Slipped all the way to the 3rd round, the bottom of the 3rd. So I'm telling y'all, I mean, look, this is why I say, again, nobody is safe because you're looking at trying to build a contending team. And you have to do that by any means necessary. And now that you got one of the biggest problems out the way in Rich McKay, what if the new regime just comes in and say, hey, we want to do things our way? There's this guy in the draft, there's that guy in the draft, or there's this guy in free agency, that guy in free agency. But the only way we make these moves, we got to move one of our key players and get compensation back to get like a 2 or 3 for 1. And what I mean by that, say you trade a Bijan, say you trade a Drake. You trade a Bijan, you get 3 first-round picks. Or you get a 1st and a 2nd this year and a 1st in 2027. And you go out and finish off, go and find a number 2 cornerback for AJ Terrell in the 1st round. And you go in the 2nd round and go find that number 2 receiver for Drake London. That's a fair trade-off. Yeah, Bijan is a hell of a player. But let's be real. Like I just said, Mike Shanahan earlier, you can go out and find a running back to run for 1,000 yards. You can go out and find a dual threat running back. No, he might not be as dynamic and as show-stopping as Bijan, but he's going to put up numbers.
Shoot, man,
numbers good enough to help you win.
Yeah. But I also know what I got in Tyler Algier. I know I got somebody that don't
exactly.
I know I got somebody that'll run your behind over. I know I got somebody that people got to make business decisions about when he comes their way. I ain't got to guess. I know
it. B-Lane said pennies to the limit.
bro, I seen it. I just had to get quiet, bro. I'm like that shouldn't be funny to me. That shouldn't be funny. You ain't right, B-Lane. You ain't right.
Come on, man. Right. Come on, man. Oh man, y'all wow, boy. Y'all, boy, this is gonna be a long ass off season. Oh shit. Oh man. Ooh boy.
Messing with y'all.
Oh boy.
That's why we do it,
oh,
man.
Boy.
You gotta be able to
crying.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like I seen it in the comments. I was like, bro, wow, bro. Like, wow. And then it didn't make no better because folks in the comments going laughing at it too. I'm like, oh, y'all wrong.
Oh, boy. I ain't going to hell with y'all. I ain't. Oh shit. Carl said I just went to see the current offense with Mooney and others not included nor used correctly. See if we can put up 30 points a game. If we get the right coordinator, we definitely can. And it should have been like that last night. So it happens, man. But and y'all. I mean, I don't care about y'all roasting me because it happens. But when I tell y'all something, I tell y'all because I look at things from a different perspective. Sometimes it costs to have to win ball games. Sometimes you have to pay a steep price. Look at the Rams. Perfect example. They traded away their star quarterback for another star quarterback. Plus, to get that star quarterback, they still had to give up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and another pick just for one player. But it paid off.
And I want y'all to know, if we end up getting Kyler Murray, I'm blaming Smitty. Because Smitty was the first person to start bringing up Kyler Murray to Atlanta. It wasn't no other platform in the wide world talking about the Falcons getting Kyler Murray until Smitty mentioned Kyler Murray. So if we get Kyler Murray, Smitty, I'm just saying, I'm blaming you.
But Chris, think about it, bro. He hadn't been happy in Arizona since he been there. He has the talent. He's shown us he can't stay healthy, but he hasn't had a decent offensive line since he's been there.
Man.
He's going to be on a Russell Wilson type contract because when they buy him out or release him, they're going to have to pay the dead cap space. And he's going to be on a pretty much a vet minimum contract because he's going to make at least 30-40 million next year if he leaves Arizona.
So can we get him for like $2 million then? Can we
no, I think he's been in the league 7 seasons. He's probably going to be in the $10 to $12 million range. We're still in the bad for a veteran quarterback.
Well, how about this? Can I give him?
We just gave Kirk Cousins $30 million.
And that's the reason why I don't want to give him nothing. What you mean? That's the reason. He younger, yes. Now I ain't gonna lie, he got the age, but he ain't got the height. He ain't got the. He got talent, but he ain't, man. Kyler, all right, okay. He ain't like that though. Can we keep it real about that? Kyler not like that.
Okay, so if you don't want Kyler, you would rather go out and get a Jameis Winston or a Geno Smith or somebody like that.
Better go get you a Mac Jones.
But if Kyle comes here, Mac Jones is definitely going to be option 1, and Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be option 2. Ugh. Because they know the system.
I don't like Jimmy G. I ain't gonna lie to you. I never was a Jimmy G fan.
But in that system, it works. In that system, it works. Jimmy's last full season,
now I've been seeing the whole thing about.
Go ahead.
I've been seeing the thing about Malik Willis though, but I don't feel like the Packers are going to let Malik go.
Not only that, man, and I like Malik Willis myself, but you got to think he's grown in that system. He hasn't played outside of that system. Matt Jones has played outside of the system he's in. Jimmy Garoppolo has played outside the system he's in. Malik Willis is still young. He will have to be groomed in another system. Yep. And are you willing to put in the time to do that?
Unless LaFleur gets fired and then end up getting your head coach, and then maybe he brings him in like that. But if I'm mistaken, hold on, let me not lie to y'all, because I know y'all get lied to by a lot of people already. It's not gonna be us. Let's see, Malik. It just ain't. I'm just saying.
Matt Jones in 8 games in 11 games, 8 starts this year. He was 5-3, 2,151 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's very respectable numbers. Very respectable.
Right. All
go
right.
back to his rookie season. 10-7, 3,800 yards, 13 touchdowns. 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. So he's a system quarterback. He's a West Coast style offense type quarterback. So Mac Jones would absolutely be Kyle Shanahan's first choice if he got traded from San Francisco. But go ahead with Malik.
But I will add about Malik, you wouldn't have to give up anything because he is scheduled to become an unrestricted, that's that key word, unrestricted free agent in 2026. So you could go offer him a contract, but it's like at the end of the day, you still have to know whatever head coach you bring in, he has to learn that system. So do you bring in a head coach that's similar to that system, or do you bring in a coordinator for that head coach that's similar to that system you try to bring in? Again, a lot of different dominoes have to fall even for Malik Willis to really make sense in Atlanta and him to be successful, because we don't want to just get a quarterback and just say, here, go play. You know what I'm saying?
But the positive things from that, though, bro, the positive things from that, if you look at it, if you bring in Malik Willis, either way it goes, the Falcons, I think, are going to bring in an offensive coordinator and a GM that can use the talent we have already and keep trying to grow. That's the positive thing. So Malik Willis could be an option, because no matter who you get, and this is why we may be right already, as Clint Kubiak could be our coach, because he runs that same system. Look at what he did with the Seahawks offense. Look at what he did with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, you see what he did in Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying.
He went to Seattle and didn't skip a beat.
That's what I'm saying. That comes down to coaching, having a coach. And my thing is, I know what people feel like. You know, one thing about it is, it's not like Kubiak doesn't have the head coaching experience, but he does have the NFL experience.
Correct.
Hearing the name Kubiak, y'all have to remember his dad, Gary, was in the league for quite some time.
As a player and coach.
As a player and coach. So my thing is, Clint grew up around the NFL all the time when you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, first year, you still want to tread lightly with that, but at least he's not a guy that just came, let's say, from college, came over to be a pass game coordinator, you know, and then because he, you know, since buddies with another guy that got a head coaching job, then he gets a job. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? So it's just like, again, at least he does have some NFL experience, and that's what I'm looking for. Somebody that has been in the trenches, been in the war rooms, learned some things, you know, some ups and downs, because, you know, Clint hasn't always had, you know, some like the best track record. He's had some downs too in his career, but right now he up. That's all I'm saying. Right now he up.
Right. Because you look at what he's doing in Seattle, man. And we had a chart. I got to find it. But we had a chart as to showing that how he was diverse with his with the offense. And this is what we need, especially with the weapons we have.
Mm-hmm. And so, real quick, you wanted to pull that up? You want to start to see?
I don't think I got it no more. I got to go back and find it.
But just about Clint.
I got it. Right here.
I'm saying. And why we got that right there, Clint Kubiak, even with the coaching experience. Remember, he had stints, you know, with the Minnesota Vikings, offensive quality control, and then he was a quarterbacks coach, became an offensive coordinator. He worked his way all the way up to the offensive coordinator. He also, remember, he worked as an offensive assistant and a pass game coordinator and quarterbacks coach, you know, all with the Broncos. So again, he's been around the NFL. Kansas City, San Francisco, you know, so doggone Saints. Forgot he was with the Saints, remember? Then went to the doggone Seahawks, and look at him now. So he's worked his way to the NFL.
Look at the names on this list at the top, in the middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Schottenheimer, who was a first year coach in Dallas. Liam Cohen, who just won 13 games with the Jags. Todd Monken, who a name that we keep throwing out there. Todd Monken and Joe Brady. They're right in the middle of the pack, too. Mike Kafka, another guy in the middle of the pack. I mean, there's guys out there that can come in and be an offensive coordinator. It's just that, do they want to take a back seat, or are they willing to, how should I say it? Hey, Miss Carey.
How you feeling?
Are they willing to let their potential be shortened? Because we all know.
I see what you're saying.
So, because we know this front office is gonna stick their hand where it don't belong, and they're gonna step in front of things. Because, as I keep telling y'all, Arthur Blank has been all about flashy players this whole time. Because he traded for Julio Jones. Even before that, he tried to go get Megatron, but they wouldn't make the deal. You look at Khalil Mack. The Eagles going to make that deal, but they didn't go for it. So the Falcons front office is really the remaining people in the front office are really the ones who are going to predict and determine if this team is going to ever succeed.
So what if we hired Kubiak as our head coach and Stefanski as our OC? I mean, I'm pretty sure
that would work. Listen, that would work.
Yeah,
that would work, but that's going to be too much ego because one is a former head coach and one is a new head coach. So the offensive coordinator is probably going to be trying to overshoot him, thinking he know every damn thing, and there's going to be another war.
Hopefully not. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully not. What I'm thinking about, call me crazy, but what I'm thinking about in that situation is if you have, Clint, being the head coach, but even though he is a first year, you do have that OC who can kind of help out with the head coaching thing too, because they can put their heads together and probably figure that thing out together. Like that's what I want as far as like camaraderie. Like it doesn't have to be, a competition.
I get what you're saying. Trust me, I get what you're saying.
It don't have to be Raw versus Dirk Cutter again. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to
be. I get you. But did you just see the situation? Did you hold on? Did you just see the situation that happened in Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders?
Of course I did.
Did you just see that he put 2-3 quarterbacks in front of Shedeur who we knew didn't have no business being in front of Shedeur? Shedeur had better numbers than any quarterback in the draft last year, and they waited to the 5th round to take him. If he's a coach and he knows what he's damn doing, I don't care what the front office says. Go get me that guy because I know what he's capable of doing. And they look at how well they played up under Shedeur the last half of the season.
Stefanski didn't want Shedeur. I really believe that.
That answered my question. I would want him as a coach then.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if he didn't want that guy, he just didn't want that guy. I mean, you don't want the guy, you don't want the guy. Then plus you already had drafted a guy. So it's like, why are we getting multiple quarterbacks? So it's like I kind of look at that and like, okay, why?
But you drafted the wrong quarterback in front of Shedeur. That's the only thing.
Hey, that's on them. They drafted the guy that they wanted. That's all I know. What I do know is they didn't want Shedeur. The Eagles actually was about to draft Shedeur. That's the crazy part. They were going to put him behind Jalen Hurts, and then the Browns jumped up and took him because Stefanski didn't want him. Bro, if you looked at that when they drafted Shedeur, they up there sitting in the war room. I'm talking about the lightest clap
looking dull in the face. Yeah,
bro. They didn't want him, So again, the Eagles were going to take Shedeur, but that's water under the bridge now. But I was just wondering, because of the connections, of the systems and relationships, and of course, saying Kubiak, it was Stefanski is like coming from like that Zimmer, and he worked with Gary Kubiak, saying Clint's father. So I mean,
they like Jerome said they worked together in Minnesota, so it makes sense. But my thing is, since one has been a coach already, I don't think a younger guy could, to me, and it's worked before. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like one guy having more head coaching experience, he's gonna feel like he's above the rest when it comes to younger guys, and he's not going to want to teach him the ropes. And he's going to expect him to know everything. And I just think egos going to collide at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying.
Well, hopefully not. But I do feel what you're saying. I'm not going to like just downplay what you're saying like it can't happen, because you're absolutely right. I'm just hoping that the past relationships and the ego, because we used to work together, because I have respect for your father and you, saying that it wouldn't get to that far. But of course, not everybody can keep it professional and keep it cordial at the same time. But I also agree with this comment here. Kubiak will most likely call his own plays. Stefanski will not
definitely will
need it.
Yeah, so I absolutely agree.
Need it. That was just an idea.
Absolutely agree. 100%.
Hold on, what?
John said you just got to roll the dice.
Yeah, no, I was talking about. I was like, what Gen X game we were talking about? So y'all already got a tall red bone. I'm like, what are you talking
He
about?
talking about Matt Ryan.
Oh, man, what is wrong with y'all today?
But they out of control.
Bro, what is wrong?
Boy.
I ain't messing with y'all.
I ain't messing with y'all, boy. It's gonna be a long ass off season. I already see it. It's already done started. The bullshit already done started.
Y'all out here cutting the food. But oh, he said no. He talking
about Drake London. Wow.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Golly.
The Dion had beef with Stefanski granddad. That was a real issue at hand. Wow. Wow.
Well,
wow.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I don't know what it's all about, but I'm just sitting back and just like, you know, I mean, you got beef with my grandpa. I ain't gonna lie, I got a problem with that. But, you know, it's
Tim Seller, I wanted him the last time around. Yeah, JT, you always got to surround yourself with veteran coaches as a young guy.
You do. Yeah, I mean, think about what Sean McVay did. That's what he did. Youngest head coach.
Even Arthur Smith had what did older guy named Dean Pease?
Dean Pease. Yeah, Dean Pease. I mean, you gotta have some experience, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I would want. Like, if it'd be like that, if Stefanski doesn't get another head coach job immediately, then guess what? Come on, be the coordinator. If we was to hire Clint, and it could work. The only thing I'm wondering, what's going to happen on the defensive side? Are you going to leave that alone, Clint? You going to let that stay intact? Or are you trying to bring in somebody else? Like, I am wondering about that, though.
Yeah, so, we'll see.
Even if we go that far. I'm not ordaining him as the head coach, by the way. I'm just using him in the situation because, you know, we maybe never even go that way. We'll see what happens. Right. We'll see what
Brandon, no, he didn't get fired. He got demoted.
Yeah,
he's going to get another front office role.
He got moved.
he needed to be in the kitchen, goddamn baking pizzas, because and working with the cooking staff. Because as long as you keep it anywhere around in front office, it's going to keep being a problem. It's just another lie.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. When that key card don't work no more, okay, Rich McKay is finally out the door. But that's not going to happen. You can forget that. I really don't believe it.
C. Bryant 678. What's good, my guy? Jen Gamer 79 said Panthers need Pitts. Someone said we give up Ted McMillan. I said y'all already got a tall red bone in London.
Oh, got you. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That makes plenty sense.
I want to see Kyle Pitts on the Panthers 2 times a year with that little short little midget out there, Bryce Young throwing. Because they already got Ted McMillan, and that's pretty much their Drake London. So you put those two guys together.
High chair at IHOP.
Man, look, you wouldn't even need the high chair. They so tall, he could.
Yeah. But there's gonna be a lot of quarterback changes as well. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of quarterback changes. So I think we're gonna get a veteran guy, and it's gonna probably be somebody we least expect.
Gonna be interesting. And another reason why I say that is because I see what he's doing with Tommy Tribble, and Kyle Pitts is better than him as far as like ability. Is what I mean, not blocking, ability. But still, I'm just sheesh. Nah, I'm good. I wouldn't even
Gray said Kubiak has only one seed under his belt. It's not a smart move.
You said Kubiak? Yeah. And the thing about it is, that is a reasonable thought right there too. It is only one season under his belt. It's not his first season as an offensive coordinator, but so of course he does still have that because of what his first year as an OC was officially in 2021. So he does have some experience, but I do understand what you're saying. It's his first season of having this type of success.
Right.
Under his belt. So is he turning the corner? Is this, flash in a bottle? So I do understand that, that thought too, though.
Absolutely, absolutely. Strategy King said y'all have to start thinking about things from Terry's perspective. Players like Pitts is now optional and may not be a part of the team after the new regime. Absolutely. Absolutely. We've been
1,000%.
saying that.
1,000.
They would not get Brock Bowers. Stop it.
Man, you know what? We call the Raiders and say, hey, give us Brock Bowers. They're gonna be like, give us Bijan. We're gonna slam the phone down. and they got Gentry. That's the crazy thing. They got Gentry, but they get Bijan. They get Bijan Gentry to back up. And they're gonna have that 1-2 punch like we had with Bijan and Tyler out here. That's what they're gonna do out there. 1-2, boom, boom, just like that. And most likely, if they trade if they was to do something like that, they're probably gonna pay Bijan because they still got Gentry on a few years more on that contract, rookie. But that's neither here nor there because we're not trading Bijan. So
no. But again, nobody's safe. Trust me when I tell y'all that. So when y'all see the surprise, just remember I told you nobody's safe. But you got anything else before we get out of here?
Hey man, all I'm saying is get ready for a long off season. But again, just like I said last night, say it again. Just keep that notification bell ready on A1 Forever Sports and Smitty Sports Machine because we got y'all covered, man. We're gonna be in the trenches with y'all, man. Whatever's going on, whatever we thinking, having some thoughts. And man, we may even do a show about just strictly just head coach candidates. That may be something that we may do for the fans, man. Just laying out all the candidates that possibly could be the head coach, pros, cons, I'm saying, all that good stuff like that. And we'll see what happens though, man. But right now, let's just enjoy the fact that change is upon us on January 5th, which is considered Black Monday, but it started on Sunday for us. And let's just see what happens moving forward, man. Hopefully the Falcons can make the best decisions possible moving forward.
Hey, Brandon, we'll do a draft show soon. We'll do a mock draft show very soon. It might be probably at the end of the month, do our first mock draft. And I'm going to tell y'all now, I'm the guy that loves to trade. If y'all been watching me, y'all know I'm the guy that loves to trade. But I'm going to start doing draft videos later this week, maybe today, who knows. Free agent videos, it's going to start soon. And one of my first videos is probably going to be a tight end. Since that's one of the positions we have to look at this all season, probably because Kyle Pitts is probably gone. Keeping it real with y'all. But as Chris always say, man, today is January 5th, middle of the day. Hope y'all found y'all peace early in the day and y'all still have a day to go. The rest of the day to go. But find me at FatBoySlam_21 on Twitter. Also find me right here on Smitty Sports Machine as I keep doing my thing and bringing y'all great news, me and Chris. And also, man, y'all know what to do. Find him on Hawks Digest.
Yes.
Because he over there doing his thing with the Hawks. Trinity, I don't know when we're going to do a call-in show, man. We'll do another pop-up show soon where we'll let y'all talk, especially if news breaks. Matter of fact, when we hire our new coach and GM, we may just do it then. Because one thing about it, we love to know y'all opinion on things. Because some of y'all, a lot of y'all always come in very knowledgeable what's going on and always make great points. But again, man, like I was saying, go catch Chris over at Hawk Digest, man. They still growing and they growing and growing. Latest news on Trey Young. Latest news on trade rumors with the Hawks. Jalen Johnson taking that next step. Chris got you filled in on that. So y'all please go over there and check him out over there. So as I always say, man, we're gonna let y'all have y'all day back, and it's Monday, July 5th. We'll let y'all have that back. We'll keep y'all updated if news breaks on Clint Kubiak and anybody else. But for Chris, this your boy Antoine Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.